Welcome, history lovers, to our channel. Today, we journey to the coast of West Africa to explore the compelling history of Sierra Leone. This is a story of resilience, freedom, and rebirth, a tale that winds from ancient kingdoms through the darkness of the slave trade to the dawn of independence and the challenges of the modern era. So, grab a seat, and let's uncover the powerful saga of a nation named for its Lion Mountains. Long before European ships dotted its horizon, Sierra Leone was a mosaic of vibrant cultures. Ethnic groups like the Menda, Temne, Sherbro, and Limba thrived here for millennia. Archaeological finds suggest that people have inhabited this land since at least 2500 BCE. They were farmers, fishers, and traders, living in harmony with the lush forests and fertile river valleys. The region's strategic coastal location made it a natural hub for commerce, a crossroads where different cultures met, exchanged goods, and shared ideas, creating a rich tapestry of traditions long before the outside world arrived. The name Sierra Leone itself has a fascinating origin. In 1462, a Portuguese explorer named Pedro de Sintra sailed along the coast. Struck by the dramatic, mist-covered mountains near what is now Freetown, he called the area Sierra Leone, meaning Lion Mountains. At first, European traders came for gold, ivory, and spices. But by the late 15th century, a far more sinister trade began to dominate: the transatlantic slave trade. For over 300 years, the coast of Sierra Leone became a major departure point for enslaved Africans. It was a heartbreaking chapter in human history. Local conflicts were exploited by European merchants who offered weapons, rum, and textiles in exchange for captives of war. Tens of thousands of men, women, and children were forcibly taken from their homes, packed onto ships, and sent to the Americas. This brutal trade didn't just cause immense suffering, it tore apart the social fabric of West Africa, leaving scars that would last for generations. Yet, in a remarkable turn of history, the very land that had been a center of enslavement would become a symbol of freedom. By the late 18th century, the abolitionist movement in Britain was gaining momentum. Activists and philanthropists envisioned a new home for freed slaves from Europe and the Americas. In 1787, they established a settlement on the Sierra Leone Peninsula, boldly naming it the Province of Freedom. The first settlers were known as the Black Poor, freed slaves from London, who were soon joined by black loyalists who had fought for the British in the American Revolutionary War. Life was tough. The newcomers faced diseases, conflicts with local communities, and the challenges of building a new society from scratch. But their numbers grew with the arrival of more settlers, including a group of freed slaves from Nova Scotia in 1792 and skilled Jamaican Maroons in 1800. These diverse groups merged, creating a new, unique community, the Creole people. Their capital, Freetown, became a beacon of hope and liberty on the West African coast. The British government took formal control in 1808, declaring Freetown a crown colony. It became the headquarters for the Royal Navy's West Africa Squadron, a fleet tasked with an incredible mission: to stop the slave trade. For decades, British ships patrolled the Atlantic, intercepting illegal slave vessels and liberating the Africans on board. These recaptives, over 50,000 of them, were brought to Sierra Leone to start new lives. Freetown blossomed into a vibrant hub of education and culture. Missionaries established schools and churches, and Western-style education began to spread, a first for sub-Saharan Africa. While Freetown flourished, the British gradually extended their authority into the interior, declaring the Sierra Leone Protectorate in 1896. This created a divide, with the educated Creole elite in Freetown and the indigenous peoples of the hinterland living under different systems of rule, a tension that would shape the country's future. By the early 20th century, Sierra Leone had earned the nickname the Athens of West Africa. This was largely thanks to Fora Bay College, founded in 1827, which stood as the first Western-style university in sub-Saharan Africa. Its graduates, primarily from the Creole community, became influential teachers, missionaries, and administrators across the continent. After World War II, a wave of change swept across Africa. The call for independence grew louder in Sierra Leone. An educated new generation of leaders challenged colonial rule, advocating for self-governance and national unity. Their efforts paid off. On April 27, 1961, Sierra Leone proudly gained its independence from Britain. Sir Milton Margai became the nation's first prime minister, and the new flag of green, white, and blue was hoisted, symbolizing agriculture, unity, and the sea. It was a moment of immense hope and celebration. However, the euphoria of independence was short-lived. Following Sir Milton Margai's death in 1964, his brother Albert took over, but his government was plagued by corruption and ethnic tensions. The country's stability began to crumble. In 1967, the first of several military coups rocked the nation, ushering in a long period of political turmoil. The rise of Siaka Stevens and his All People's Congress Party led to a one-party state and growing authoritarianism. Under Stevens and his successor, Joseph Momo, the economy collapsed, corruption spiraled out of control, and the people grew increasingly frustrated. This simmering discontent exploded in 1991, plunging Sierra Leone into one of Africa's most devastating civil wars. A rebel group, the Revolutionary United Front, or RUF, led by Foday Sankoh, launched an insurgency. Their goal was to seize control of the country's lucrative diamond fields, which gave rise to the term blood diamonds. The conflict descended into unimaginable brutality. The world watched in horror as the war was defined by horrific violence against civilians, the widespread use of child soldiers, and mass displacement. The war raged for 11 long years, claiming over 50,000 lives and leaving the nation in ruins. It took a concerted international effort to bring the nightmare to an end. The United Nations, regional peacekeepers from ECOWAS, and British forces all played crucial roles in disarming the fighters and restoring order. Finally, in 2002, President Ahmad Tejan Kaba officially declared the war over. A new, fragile chapter of peace and rebuilding had begun. In the years since, Sierra Leone has been on a long and difficult road to recovery. To heal the nation's wounds, institutions like the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the Special Court for Sierra Leone were established to bring perpetrators of war crimes to justice and document the atrocities. While challenges like poverty and corruption persist, the country has made remarkable progress in strengthening its democracy, rebuilding its schools, and improving health care. But the trials were not over. In 2014, Sierra Leone was at the epicenter of a devastating Ebola outbreak that claimed thousands of lives and crippled its health system. The nation has also faced natural disasters, including deadly mudslides and floods. Yet, through every hardship, the unbreakable spirit of the Sierra Leonean people has shone through. Their resilience is truly inspiring. Today, Sierra Leone stands as a testament to endurance and hope. After centuries of struggle, from the slave trade and colonial rule to a brutal civil war and devastating epidemics, its people continue to look forward, committed to peace and progress. The story of this nation is one of profound strength and remarkable transformation. Though its past is filled with pain, its spirit remains uncrushed, roaring like the Lion Mountains for which it was named, proud, resilient, and forever striving for a brighter future. Thank you so much for joining us on this historical journey. If you found this story as powerful as we did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into history. We'll see you in the next one.